Hi, I'm Rebecca from engVid, back with another vocabulary hack lesson. Now, what is a hack? A hack is a shortcut, a way for someone to learn to do something faster and more effectively, okay? And that's what you're going to do here. You're going to take, actually, a system to expand your vocabulary, to multiply your vocabulary very easily and quickly. The way we're going to do it today is by adding suffixes to nouns. Now, what does all that mean? Okay, so we're going to take a word. Our sample word here is power. Now, power is a noun. To that, we're going to add a suffix. What's a suffix? A suffix is just a group of letters that you add to the end of a word to change the meaning. So we have two suffixes here, full and less. When we add full to the end of the word power, we get the new word powerful. And the suffix ful, with only one L, okay? Don't get fooled. It means full of whatever. In this case, full of power. But when we spell it, we add only one L, okay? So it becomes one word, powerful. For example, a powerful leader, okay? Or here's another suffix, less. When this word is added, this suffix is added to the end of a word, it means without something. So when we add it to power, we get powerless, which means without power. This meant full of power, that means without power. Okay, got it? So we could have a powerful leader or a powerless leader. Okay, we could be in a powerful position or a powerless position. All right, here we do write two S's, but here remember only one L. Now you can use these same suffixes to create hundreds of words, okay? And that's what I'm going to show you here. Let's just look at some examples first. We could say, for example, suppose we're talking about a message. It could be a thoughtful message or a thoughtless message, a useful idea or a useless idea, right? We could say meaningful words or meaningless words. We could say these are harmful products or harmless products. Harmful, they cause harm, they do damage, they hurt you. Or harmless, they don't hurt you. Okay? So, you see the same pattern is being applied. Same rule. We're just adding full or less to the end of the noun. All right? Let's look at many more words now. All right? And let's go from here. So, for example, we start with the nouns. Okay? We have 5 nouns. We're going to turn them into 10 words. All right? So, you're already multiplying your vocabulary. A careful driver or a careless driver. A powerful leader, as we said, or a powerless leader. A fearful person or a fearless person. In this case, it's good to be fearless. Without fear means that you are not afraid. And to be fearful means you are afraid, okay? So it doesn't mean that the word with full is always the more positive or stronger word, okay? You have to look at what's the noun. If the noun is something positive, then when you're full of something positive, you're going to be stronger. But if the noun suggests a weakness, then when you're full of something, you're going to be less strong. Okay? Let's continue. Let's say you're talking about an operation. A painful operation or a painless operation. A helpful person or a helpless person. Okay? Did you get that? Did you see that just by taking some nouns and adding full or less, we've come up with adjectives now, and we've come up with not only one adjective per word, but 2. So we've already multiplied our words from 5 to 10. Now let's see what happens next. All right, ready for some more magic? Here we go. So we started with 5 words, 5 nouns, then we turned them into 10 with the adjectives. Now we're going to create adverbs from the same basic word. how do we create an adverb? Usually by adding ly. Okay? So we could say, for example, he drove carefully, right? Or he drove carelessly. He led the country powerfully. Or he led the country powerlessly. Okay? He acted fearfully. He acted fearlessly. Okay? She administered the injection painfully, or she administered the injection painlessly. What does it mean to administer an injection? To give you an injection, you know, the thing we don't usually like too much. Okay? And she acted very helpfully, or she acted helplessly. Okay? So you see, with the same basic noun, we went to the adjective, and now we have 10 more adverbs. So we went from 5 to 10 to 20 words that you know already. But it's not just these words. This same principle applies to hundreds of words. And that's what you can also check in the resource. I'm not going to give you 100, but more than 50 words for sure. You can look up lots and lots of examples, and you can apply this principle to expand your vocabulary. But it doesn't end there. We're going to go one step further. We'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, our board is getting really full. And so is your mind, and so is your vocabulary, right? Okay, so what happened now? Now we've come back to add another noun from this suffixes, okay? From the suffixes that we created and added. So we have now carefulness, carelessness. So the suffix we're adding here is ness, okay? N-E-S-S. Powerfulness, powerlessness, fearfulness, fearlessness, painfulness, painlessness. I hope you're saying these with me, okay? It's good practice for you to say them also, because then you'll use them. All right. Helpfulness and helplessness. Okay? So what happened? Basically, by learning 3 suffixes, 4. So full and less, right? Then we learned ly, and now we learned ness. So we learned 4 suffixes, and we've created 30 more words from the original 5. But you can do that with so many words, as I've said. But does it work with every word in English? No, it doesn't. So when I come back, I'm going to show you some very common examples where we cannot do that, but you can do part of it. So let's look at that next. All right. So as I said, with some base words, you can only add less or full. You cannot add both, okay? So even though there are hundreds of words to which you can add both suffixes, there are some words where you cannot. So I'm going to give you some examples of those as well, just so that you understand, okay? All right. So for example, here we can only add less. If we want to describe a night without sleep, we can say it with me, okay? A night without sleep is a sleepless night. Good. Look how nice you sound, how advanced you sound. Imagine writing like that in your exams or on your IELTS or your TOEFL or your university essays, okay? Immediately your language skills become much higher, okay? Let's continue. A person without a home is a, say it with me, a homeless person. Good. A performance without any flaws is a flawless performance. Now, look at the beauty of this. Once you understand the principle, you can apply it, right? Even if you're not 100% sure of what the word actually means. You know, if you saw the word flawless, it means without something. But just for you to know, in case you don't know, flaw means a mistake or an error. So when you say that someone had a flawless performance, it means they had a performance with no mistakes, no errors, or no flaws. Okay, good. So, an object with no worth is called a worthless object. Good. A situation with no end is called an endless situation. Great. Good. All right. Now we look at 5 more where the only suffix we can add is full. We cannot add less. So a painting with a lot of beauty is a beautiful painting. Good. Just for you to know, here we change the spelling. We get rid of the Y and we add I. Okay? A place which is full of peace is a peaceful place. An evening full of delight is a delightful evening. All right. So now, number 9. An experience full of fright. What do we say? A frightful experience. Very good. A kitten full of play is a playful kitten. What's a kitten? A baby cat. All right. So I hope you saw through this part of the lesson and all of the earlier parts of the lesson that there are so many different words that you can create and multiply by using this technique. All right? So what do you do next? Lots of things. First, go to our website, www.engvid.com. There, you can download a resource with lots of words exactly like this, okay? So that will help you to multiply your vocabulary so fast. Next, you can also do a quiz while you're there to practice this technique a little bit, see how it works, and which words you use with which other words, what collocations there are, how you can use them in your essays, in your email, in your writing in general, okay? And you can also, please, subscribe to my YouTube channel because that way you can continue to get lots of vocabulary hacks and grammar hacks and all kinds of hacks to help you learn English more quickly and effectively. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.